Every year, my family receives a Christmas card from my grandmother. That wouldn't be unusual, except for one thing. She's been dead for 7 years. The first card arrived the December after her funeral. We were still raw with grief, still finding her reading glasses in odd places, still smelling her perfume in empty rooms. When my mother pulled the card from the mailbox, she dropped it like it had burned her fingers. There on the envelope, in my grandmother's unmistakable looping handwriting, was our address. The return address was her old house, the one we'd sold 6 months earlier. My father said it must have been lost in the mail, but the postmark was from 3 days ago. And when we opened it, the message inside made my mother's face go white. The pipes in the basement are freezing. You should check them before they burst. All my love, Grandma Margaret. We laughed it off nervously. A coincidence. But my father went to check the basement anyway. And sure enough, the pipes along the north wall were covered in frost, on the verge of bursting. He spent the next 4 hours wrapping them in insulation. The next year, we'd almost forgotten about it. Almost. December 15th, the second card arrived. Same handwriting, same impossible return address. There's a nest in the chimney. Don't light the fireplace until it's removed. All my love, Grandma Margaret. My mother started crying. Not sad tears, frightened ones. The chimney sweep pulled out a massive crow's nest, so thick with debris that if we'd lit a fire, the smoke would have filled the house. You're lucky, he said. This would have killed you all in your sleep. We didn't feel lucky. That's when we started dreading December. Every year after that, like clockwork, another card arrived. Each one contained a warning. Each warning came true. Year 3. The electrical outlet behind the couch is sparking. We found it that evening. Black scorch marks spreading across the wall. We'd been hours away from a house fire. Year 4. The gas line under the stove has a crack. Call someone today. The repairman found a hairline fracture that would have flooded the kitchen with gas within a week. Year 5. There's black mold behind the washing machine. It's making Violet sick. My sister had been coughing for weeks. The doctor said it was asthma. It wasn't. I'm 32 now. I moved out years ago, got my own apartment across town. I thought maybe I'd be free of the cards. I was wrong. Last December, a card arrived at my apartment. I'd never given my grandmother this address. She died before I moved here. But there it was, that familiar handwriting, that impossible postmark. The lock on your bedroom window doesn't catch properly. Someone has noticed. All my love, Grandma Margaret. I checked immediately. The lock looked fine, but when I tested it, the mechanism slipped. The window could be opened from the outside with just a little pressure. I stared at that window for a long time, wondering what she meant by someone has noticed. I called a locksmith that same hour. That night, I barely slept. At 3 in the morning, I heard it. The soft scrape of something against the glass. Someone testing the window, trying to open it. The new lock held. Footsteps retreated down the fire escape. The next morning, I found fresh scratches around the window frame. After that, I started questioning everything. These cards had saved my family more times than I could count. But how? How does someone dead for 7 years know about a faulty lock on a window in an apartment she never visited? I went through my grandmother's belongings in my parents' attic. In a journal from 30 years ago, I found something that changed everything. My grandmother wrote about receiving a letter from her own grandmother when she was 25, a letter warning her about a gas leak. The letter arrived 3 days after her grandmother's funeral. I don't understand how this is possible, my grandmother wrote, but I'm alive because of it. And I'm so very afraid. The entries continue. Year after year, warnings from her dead grandmother, until the final entry, written 2 months before she died. I understand now. It's not a gift. It's a curse. It's a chain. We don't stop watching just because we die. We can't. I see it now. What comes after. The waiting, the watching, the knowing, and the terrible, terrible price of looking away. I brought the journal to my mother. She read it in silence, tears streaming down her face. When she finished, she handed it back to me. "Don't have children," she said. "Promise me, don't have children." Then I understood. The pattern. Great-great-grandmother watching great-grandmother. Great-grandmother watching grandmother. Grandmother watching mother. Watching me. An unbroken chain of the dead watching the living, generation after generation, unable to rest, bound by some terrible love that survives death itself. My sister Violet has 2 kids now. Last December, she received her first card. A warning about her son, about a hidden peanut allergy that could kill him. The test came back positive. He would have died the first time he ate peanuts at school. "She's watching my babies," Violet whispered on the phone. "Mom is going to die someday, and then she'll be watching my babies. Forever. Never resting, never free." I think about my mother, growing old, knowing what waits for her. Just an eternal vigil, watching her children and grandchildren, seeing every danger before it strikes, screaming warnings into the void between death and life. Because here's what haunts me most. What happens if we don't listen? I think I know the answer. I think that's why we keep opening them. Why my mother opens every card without hesitation, follows every instruction without question. Because the alternative isn't freedom. It's finding out what happens when you refuse a warning from someone who loves you enough to never stop watching. Last week, my girlfriend told me she's pregnant. I should be happy. But all I can think about is that journal entry. All I can think about is my own death, decades from now, and the moment after. Not darkness. Not peace. But clarity. Horrible clarity. The veil lifting. And then the watching begins. Watching my child, my grandchildren, seeing every danger, sending warnings, never sleeping, never resting, just watching, forever watching. This December, another card will come, written in that familiar handwriting by hands that have been dust for 7 years. And we'll read it. We'll follow the instructions. We'll be grateful, even as we're terrified. We'll live another year, safe and protected, watched over by love that has outlasted death itself. And someday, I'll die. And I'll understand. I'll see what my grandmother saw, the truth that waits beyond the veil. The price we pay for loving someone so much that not even death can make us stop protecting them. I'll pick up a pen in whatever hell or heaven or in-between place we go. And I'll start writing, warning my child about dangers I can see so clearly now, hoping the card arrives in time, hoping they read it until they die too, and join me in the watching, and the chain continues, unbroken, eternal. We don't haunt houses in my family. We haunt bloodlines. The card that arrived yesterday is still sitting on my kitchen table. I haven't opened it yet, because it's not addressed to me, it's addressed to my girlfriend. In handwriting that isn't my grandmother's. It's newer, shakier. The return address is my mother's house. But my mother isn't dead. I called her this morning. She answered on the second ring. She sounded fine, healthy, normal, but the card is here. I don't know if I'm more terrified to open it, or more terrified of what it means that it exists at all. Has the curse evolved? Are we sending warnings before we die now? Are we already ghosts? Already haunting? Already unable to look away? Or is something else sending these cards? Something that's learned to imitate us, to sound like love, to look like protection? I'm gonna open it. I have to. The envelope is cold. Colder than it should be. Inside, the card is simple. A winter scene. A peaceful house covered in snow. The message is short. Just one sentence. Tell them the truth. Tell them we're not trying to save them. We're trying to keep them alive. Long enough to join us. All our love. All of us. The card falls from my fingers. Outside, I hear footsteps. Slow, shuffling footsteps. Coming up the stairs. Getting closer. Something is scratching at my door. I realize what the curse really is. We don't watch because we love. We watch because we're lonely. Because the dead need the living. Need to bring them over. One by one. Expanding the family. The scratching is louder now. The doorknob is turning. And somewhere, in the space between life and death, my grandmother is smiling. Because soon, I'll understand everything. Soon, I'll be watching too. Forever, with all of them. This December, someone you love will get a card. They'll think it's protection. They'll think it's love. They'll read it, follow it, survive because of it. And they'll never realize that survival is just postponement. Keeping them alive long enough to make them one of us. The door is opening now. I can see her. My grandmother. She looks just like I remember. Smiling, loving, reaching for me with cold, cold hands. Come, she says. It's time. Time to start watching. Time to send your first card. And God forgive me. I'm smiling back, because I can see them now. See my daughter, not born yet but already visible. See her whole life. Every danger, every threat, every moment where I can help, where I can warn. I'm reaching for a pen, for paper. Next December, she'll get her first card. Forever and ever and ever, all our love. All of us, watching, always watching.